Welcome back to Beyond the Gram. Today we have the pleasure of speaking to Willow Twink, otherwise known as Philip. Philip is an adult content creator and influencer, killer combo, and he has over 270,000 followers over his socials. He's on OF, F2F, and also Just for Fans. He's taken over the UK, in my opinion, in the last year, and he's probably one of the cutest guys on the internet. He's also a foodie and a budding violinist. So a big welcome to Willow Twink.
Hi, hello, I'm a Willow Twink boy, living in a Willow Twink world.
So excited to speak with you, Philip.
Yeah,
I've seen you, I live in the UK, and I've seen you all over the socials and Twitter and OF, and it seems like you've taken one big trip and got with some of the best guys in the industry.
Yeah, I made lots of friends.
I'm sure they were friendly as well.
Yeah.
So I thought we would start. I was thinking about this podcast and realized that we have a lot of creators who watch this, but also a lot of non-creators who are just interested in the industry, but also a lot of straight guys. And I realized that your name or social tag is Willow Twink. But explain to us, what is a twink for those who don't know?
Okay, a twink is like a type of gay man. It's like a young person. They're generally like smooth and like slim.
Yeah.
So none of that applied to me. No.
You big hairy animal. You.
We do have other ones. I mean, you got like twinks and then twonk. Twonk's like the muscle twink, and you got your daddies who are like, you know, older guys or bears even as well, or otters.
We've got a whole range of animals, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, look, I looked it up actually the other day, and it was like some interesting. There's a gym rat. There's gym bunnies. There's pups. There's wolves.
Okay. Wolves. I've heard
I
of
like
wolves.
wolves. What do you think you'd be?
Oh, well, I think I was an otter, then I got lasered off, and then I got fat on my trip, so I'm probably a bear now. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
A daddy bear, maybe. What would you class me as?
I don't know. A daddy.
A daddy?
I think you're like close to the wolf thing, but you said you're lasered, so maybe you're like a smooth wolf.
Smooth wolf. I'll take that. So, I mean, when did you start the adult content creation? Was it day one you turned 18?
No.
What was it?
No, like I started OF. Maybe I gave it a go like 3 years ago, but it went nowhere and I was not motivated to do it. Like I had maybe 20 subscribers and I've never posted really. And then I just like lost all of them. But then a year later, I decided to like take it more seriously. So now, so I'd say I've been doing it now 18 months.
18 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What gets me curious is what was the turning point when you said, hey, I've got this pretty like raging sexuality and I want to make it public? Like when was that switch sort of gone, boop, I'm ready?
Well, I'd say it takes like a lot of guts to want to do it. Like, what made me want to do it initially was I had this ex that was actually super mean to me.
Right.
And used to make fun of me. And so when I left him, I decided like I wanted to just like kind of get almost like a validation of like, you know, like I'm pretty like, I'm like pretty good, you know? Yeah. Like, fuck this guy, you know? And it started from there. But even before that, it was like, say the first time I was kind of open to expressing myself publicly was like maybe at the nude beaches.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so like maybe when I was 18.
All right.
Like I first went, and it's so intimidating to take all your clothes off in front of just random strangers in public on a beach, right? But I feel like if you're afraid to do something, like you should try and want to do it even more.
Face into it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I loved it. Like I love guys staring at me and the attention.
There's no turning back. Huh?
Yeah, I loved it.
You're like, hey guys.
Yeah, just tanning. Like reading a book, like
Speaking of, you're looking very fabulous in a skirt today.
Thank you. Yes.
So for our audience, is it? Sophie, you're making me blush. Okay, cool. So, and then when you first had that, okay, I'm going to do an OnlyFans, and posted your first piece of content, was that scary, liberating? You said you sort of wanted to get back at the ex and sort of say, oh, hey, look, I'm quite wanted in this space, you know?
Yeah, well, at first, like, it was just like, I mean, it wasn't like going viral or blowing up or anything. Like, I used to kind of just start making GIFs. And I used to put my full nudes on Twitter.
Okay.
And just over time, it built, and maybe I got it up to 50K, and then I actually lost that account.
All right.
Yeah.
I heard. Yes, I heard on your last podcast.
I lost that, which is so stressful because like Twitter is basically like a huge way to market your OF.
It's your bread and butter.
Yeah, as it have that going, it's like holy shit, you know.
Yeah.
But then I made another one and I rebranded everything where it's more like teasy and it still works just as well as putting your like whole nudes out, you know.
So basically, you went full nude on Twitter and then realized that okay, maybe I need to get a bit more teasy. So what was the rationale behind that?
So like you'll get great engagement for posting your full frontal everything, right? Like heaps of followers.
I'm sure you would.
And retweets and likes. It's great. But I feel like that's like a kind of way of working like a downwards battle almost, you know, like kind of like you post nudes and then I see guys post even more naughtier and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of, it comes like almost like...
It's an escalation.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a
but
race
like,
to the bottom.
But like say... I did a thing with 10-inch top and he's like full like fucking me like for like 20 seconds
May have seen
on Twitter. But he had like 1 million followers. So like I'm going to let him, you know what I mean?
Well, he's a pretty big deal, pun intended.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe I'm like a little bit hypocritical, but you know, it's like 90%. Like I feel like really teasing it out, it's like better. Cause then like, why would you go on OF and it's like the same stuff, you know, like, what's the point?
And it's like it's a stepping stone to OF.
Well, I like to think like you should not just do Twitter, like you should be doing all the socials. And I like to think like TikTok is like G-rated and then Instagram is kind of like PG. Then you go like Twitter's like MA 15 plus and then your OF and like just for fans and your friends, that's like R-rated.
Yeah.
You know, like to keep that.
That's a great way of describing it.
Yeah.
Literally on the Academy, we talk about that and we talk about the content or the content channel strategy and like what you can push on Insta, what you can't, you know, like how sensitive
don't
is
push
TikTok.
it. Don't even risk it on Instagram.
And it's weird because I do see some creators where I'm just like,
so
how
bullshit.
did you get away with that?
It's so bullshit.
And then some others would just make a gay joke and get banned, you know?
It's so bullshit.
It's just like, why? I
and
don't know.
me, because I look so young. It's I can't even push it, really. Like,
do you get reported for being underage or something like that?
Well, that's the thing. Well, you can report people, but Instagram might not even care about that. Like, say I had an Instagram go down a few months ago, and I just had to start a new one because it was like me in a G-string. But I've seen full like recommended pictures, naked, like completely naked.
Yeah.
I've even seen like cocks fully blurred out, but nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
But to me, if I put like say like a little G-string on the side, not even like a full front, it's like a little tiny little.
Yeah.
It's like. No.
Yeah. You're sexualizing the hell out of that G-string.
God,
Let's ban
it's
this guy.
so annoying.
You know?
But it's also not worth it. So I think because I had to go down, it's like now I'm like conscious that like I don't need to push it. You know, like it's not worth. I would say the biggest advice for creators, it's like to read like the terms and conditions of all the socials and like don't push it because you don't have to. You know, like you kind of have to realize that you're worth like a lot, you know, like you need to have some self-worth and like some belief in yourself, you know, like even if you have haters, it's like you don't need to like put like a jockstrap in like, you know, on Instagram or like be bulging on TikTok, you know, or even your full nudes on Twitter because you will still do well.
Yeah.
You know, like you just gotta know how like what you're worth to yourself, you know. There's a lot of tiny little things you can do to like optimize it, but that's like something you won't know by yourself, you know, or when you first start. Like that takes so much time, especially if you are doing it by yourself, it takes way longer to figure out, you know. So if you like have someone you know that does it, or like even something like this Academy, it's like really helpful because like for me in Sydney, not many people are like, I mean, there's lots of people that are verified for OnlyFans in Sydney, but like it might be more like a hobby or like a side thing, you know, which is how it usually starts. But everyone kind of is doing it on their own a little bit and trying to figure it out by themselves. And I find myself trying to help a lot of people, even a lot of my mates.
Yeah.
You know, and they always messaging me, like even most of the time it's like just to have a kind of support thing, because it can be stressful if like you don't know what's happening. Like say like you take your payout and it's not like coming in, or you know, like oh there's like a red notification from OnlyFans, which is really bad. You know, like it's easy to like stress out.
Yeah.
But if you have someone that can like support you and like calm you, it's really makes
helpful.
things a lot easier.
Yeah, because
you know?
it's your everything, right? When you're doing it seriously, and it's just, and this is why one of the reasons I've set up the academy and really wanted to speak with you as well. We were texting and you're talking about you being a bit of a porn parent, and I love that.
Yeah,
I literally was on my
daddy.
phone giggling, like, oh my god, I should have called my business pornparent.com, not Beyond the Gram. You know, the academy is like there for that reason, right? It's a big lonely world when you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
And so one of the questions I've been dying to ask you is like, if you were to rewind the clock, knowing what you know now, right? What things would you do different?
To my younger self.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be very appropriate to be telling my younger self to like do porn.
Oh, no. But no, I mean, like once you started porn, what would you do different?
I definitely just 100% don't push it. Like, don't break the law, break the rules. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah.
Juicy. I like that. I like that.
Going back in time, you know, because like that's what happens when you like put everything out there from the get-go. You kind of really start to push it, and then you start breaking terms and conditions, things like that, which can really backfire on you. So that is like a big one. Okay. I mean, I've even had an OnlyFans go down before. Yeah, well, yeah, completely. And I was in the middle of like in another country, and I'm like, oh my god, like freaking out. Yeah. But it, like they gave it back to me, so whatever. But it's like, knowing though, like read them and don't push it. Like don't break any rules. It's so not worth it.
And it kills your time too and money, right?
God, like, yeah. Because then it's like starting from scratch. It's like you have those like those VIP fans, but it's like you know, like starting from scratch. It's awful. Back again, yeah.
And what was the process of getting your OF back?
It took maybe 5 months because they wanted to investigate it, but then they gave it back. There was no nothing. You just had to wait, and I was like, it's gone. Okay. I'm not waiting, so I had to start a new one. Right, that's the one I use now.
Okay,
because it used to be called Boy Toy Phillip. Then I changed it to Willow Twink because I had a Twitter go down, my OF go down, you know, and I had like an Insta go down. I was like, oh, and I just rebranded the whole thing because I didn't want them to think like I'm avoiding suspensions and stuff, you know. But then everything was fine.
So where did Willow come from?
Have you ever watched Drag Race?
I have, yes.
So you know like Willow Pill?
Okay, yeah.
You know, she's a willow pill. She's not a big pill. She's a willow pill. You know?
So, like okay,
I'm not a big twink. I'm a willow twink.
Oh, I love that. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah. Exactly. There's so many things you can do with Willow. Like, I'm thinking I want to even do like willow tops and willow bottoms, like t-shirts or pants, or like my willow toys, you know, like branding is really like you should, that's a good tip, I reckon, for most people starting out is like think about a character almost, like a branding.
Yeah, I like that. And it actually brings us to another question. I was recently invited to the XBiz Awards in Amsterdam. And I know you've just been to Amsterdam last year as well. And it was really surprising for me because it was so funny.
Yeah, like, you met Malik Delgado.
I did, yes.
I can't believe that.
He's lovely. He's really nice.
So hot.
Yeah, I met so many people.
Me up.
So many people. I did meet Dr. Wolf at the XBiz.
Oh my God, he messaged me.
Did he?
Oh my God. He messaged me. And then he never replied, right? Like I sent a message back, and then I sent him just one more because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be like too needy. You didn't want to do the 3
messages in a row.
No, 2 was like maximum. And then I was like, fuck, I'll just wait. Wait. But Reno Gold messaged me. Oh my God.
I saw.
My God. I think he saw my 10-inch top video. right? Because I think they just collabed. Was coming out in a similar time.
Okay.
And he followed me, and I just sent him like a thank you message, like thank you for following me.
Thanks
oh
for
my
following,
god, because like he really inspired me with like his facial expressions he does, like the kind of like smiling and like cross-eyed shit. It's amazing. It's great, you know. But he saw that message maybe like months later and was like, "You're killing it, babe." And I was like, "Oh my god."
If I worked in adult content and there's some guy that I've been crushing on, and then suddenly you get a text message saying, "Hey, want to do a collab and have a bit of a shag?" How do you go about that if you're like absolutely fanboying out?
Okay, well, so I remember my first like fangirl moment
Uh-huh.
was, so I followed Not a Shy Boy. He was like the first ones I followed because he was like similar, like Twinkie and, you know, like me. And I'm like, I want to make this kind of photos that he's doing. It's just like amazing, you know. Cole Bentley, right?
Okay, right.
Right. And then
Who's a UK artist?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was going to a collab house in Manchester, and he just like, it was like nighttime, like we'd like just had dinner and stuff. And he just like out of nowhere is like in the kitchen, and the first thing I say, like first thing I say, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Cole Bentley," right? And straight away
Subtle.
after that, I know it wasn't even subtle. Hey, I was like, "You know who you are." And after that, honestly, we become like little Manchester sisters, like besties, and we still like message each other now. And that little fan, because like, you know, who cares about like being cool or whatever?
Yeah,
Like it's like, oh my god,
yo.
it's Cole Bentley. Like I looked up to him, you know.
So I think you've got a bit of a signature move as well in some of your content.
Do I?
Yeah. I looked at some of the content of 10-inch Top, had to do my research for this interview, of course. And what I loved, your signature move was, now obviously he's a 10-inch Top, there's says it in the name, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty damn big, right?
Yeah.
And I just
He's
thought
huge.
you
Like,
came across as
My
so...
arm like this.
Yeah, I know.
Huge.
So
I
was
put
like,
it in a
he's
picture.
gonna
It's like
break
literally
you in half,
this huge.
kind of
It's
thing.
insane. Yeah, like, like insane.
But like, I just loved you talking about Reno Gold's facial expressions. Your facial expressions.
Oh my God.
I loved it. I was like, this is his signature piece.
Yeah.
It was like pleasure and I don't know if I could take this, but I love it. But
Yeah, it's kind of like, wow, oh my god.
you're like
wow.
yeah.
That's not my signature.
I loved it because it was like literally showing like
No way. That's not my signature.
I was just like, that's kind of cool. I like that.
I think my signature, I've noticed this thing. I gotta stop saying it. I say wow.
Wow.
I lot.
Yeah.
In my videos, I go, oh wow.
I do.
Wow.
I do remember that. Yeah, but that's kind of.
But
cool.
it is like sometimes it's like wow.
Should like open your reels with wow.
Wow.
Yeah, bit of a shake there as well. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
I like that. I think you're onto something. You know, it's all about the
sweet.
branding. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you gotta be like excited. I think that's why I like amateur stuff better.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can really have so much fun with a person. Like when it's studio, it's such a different vibe. Like it's another guy with a big camera, you know, and everyone's more like, you know, like serious.
Look at me, angles.
Yeah.
Angles.
But I'm more like, you know, like, wow. You know.
So let's talk about collaboration houses. So for the audience who don't know, the collaborations are pretty good because you can leverage the collaborator's audience and they can leverage yours and therefore get higher engagement across the board. And one thing that's sort of really come out in the last 5 years or so is having collaboration houses. We have multiple content creators all together in one house, and you're sort of working the day and doing collaborations throughout the day or the week or even the month. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Tell us about your first experience at a collaboration house.
My first one was in Manchester, and there was maybe like 12 boys. And the first night we didn't do anything. We kind of just got to know each other.
Okay.
There were some language barriers, you know, which made things. I like the guys that don't speak English sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
because you kind of just get right into it.
Yeah.
You
Straight
know?
to the point, yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I met like Danny Delano and like Cole Bentley and like Ethan Piat and like so many
And Ethan's
guys.
quite big as well.
Yeah, and Corey Taylor. There's a whole bunch. And it was fun. It was really fun. Oh my God. I had to do like a bathtub scene as well. It was like, so I had to do like a bukkake. But like I didn't know what a bukkake was.
Okay.
You know, and I was like, you know, I got ready, right? Thinking I was gonna get like plowed by like 12 guys, you know. But like then,
woo,
yeah,
I'm set. Let's go. Yeah.
But then the host was like, no, that's not a bukkake. Like you're just gonna have to be like. And just like, you know, I'm like, oh, that's so easy. Yeah, it was so easy. But we did it in the bathtub. And man, like that bathtub got so dirty after that.
If I knew, I would have bought my goggles. No.
Oh my God, my eyes were so red after that. With a collab house, it's how much work you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And honestly, I was doing a lot of like, this is like 1 week, right? Or maybe ours was like even less than that, maybe 4 or 5 days. And every day was like doing like 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So those collab houses are a great opportunity to get like a few months worth of content.
And that's so important. So one of the other things I teach in the academy is about the importance of having a backlog of content.
100%.
So I always recommend between 3 to 4 months, and I know that's quite high, but
no, that's like
organized.
It's like it makes you feel like less stressed.
Yeah.
And I got invited to a collab house with Austin Wolf.
Okay,
right. Like
great.
he full messaged me, and he was like, because I'm like, I want to go to the US, you know, New York. He lives in New York, you know, and will you be there? He's like, well, actually, I'm going to wherever it was, and. I'm like, are you inviting me? He's like, yeah, I'm inviting you. I'm like, oh shit, no way. Shit, no way. But I was like going to another country around that time, so I didn't get to go. And now I'm looking at the collab house content like come out, and it was like so
like,
hard.
damn,
I missed out. But like, I think he'll do a second one because he's calling it the first collab house. Collab week.
Wow.
Collab week. That's what he's calling it.
Your name's on the list, I'm sure, you know.
Fucking hope so.
You've given him a bit of a tease, you know, that's all.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you're
Get my
in.
pole dancing classes in, like trying to like fix these guys are like so hard.
I mean, you've got work with perks, man. Like, I'm jealous, right? Like,
It's
honestly.
fair, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the work ethic, right? Because I think there's a lot of young guys out there and girls who think, okay, going to do an OnlyFans or going to do a Fansly or just for fans or F2F. And they think, it's just about the content. It's not about how you do it. And they think that maybe they'll just go viral and get a lot of money straight away.
No.
What's the reality of it? Tell us what's been like, what misconceptions do you see about young people who are trying to get into adult content?
So, I mean, it was easy. Say COVID, it was easy to just like put your stuff out on Twitter and then just boom, make a lot of money, right? Because it was less saturated. Like, what was that, 4 years ago or something?
Yeah,
When it was
yeah.
really, it was easy. Now it's not like that. Now there's so many people that do it. I mean, there's like moms and shit that do it. Like everyone can do it.
It's a niche
you
for
know?
everyone.
But it's like the way to now, you have to like, you need to have like a personality to show off as well. Because like, yeah, you may have like the goods in whatever lane you're in, but like having that personality level to get people to fall in love with you is like, I think just going a little bit above and beyond, you know, because you'll be fine. Like you'll be fine just promoting on Twitter and nothing else. But if you're promoting on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, and I mean, even doing stuff like this, like to do a podcast and do YouTube, that's like going above and beyond, you know, and that's like life-changing, you know, and like sometimes it can feel like cringy, you know, like doing like the TikTok lip syncs, you know, and all that.
With
But it's like, you know, you gotta have a bit
dances.
of guts to do it. Like, yeah, it's cringy, but like some people don't even have the guts to try and be cringy, you know, and then you can like start making the content you want later, you know, like.
Get the fan base, then work.
Yeah, exactly. Like get that base and then you can do whatever the hell you want, you know?
You've touched on some very important things that I find working with the cohorts is you said whatever lane you're in, right? You talked about the oversaturation at the moment of different people out there and how, and just recapping what you're saying, how your personality and your authenticity is actually a selling point for your content. It's not just about nudes. Right?
Yes.
And so that's really cool because I think a lot of people miss that.
And it's also like a business thing, like to kind of, you need an emotional response from your audience to like connect to you.
Yeah.
You know, like I found this guy like 2 days ago. Have you heard of Jack Doherty? Doherty?
Rings a bell, but I'm not
Jack
sure.
Doherty, whatever.
Doherty.
He's like this 21-year-old, right? And please don't come at me because he's like scary. But he's such a douche. He's such a douche. Like he's got like his $500,000 diamond chain and they get the diamond tester and oh yeah, it's real.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Bling bling.
And he is doing great with YouTube. He's got like 13 million like subscribers and he's doing fantastic, like super consistent. But he like his emotional response is like being a douche, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's his lane, right?
That's his lane, you know? So he's like a douche and it's working for him. I mean, he makes, I probably shouldn't say, but it's
A lot of money.
a lot, you know? And I think what I like to do is my lane's more like I like to be a little bit more wholesome, like, or silly, you know? Like I try and not be a douche.
Yeah.
So
So another way to talk about lanes is niches, essentially. So I look at you and I see your niche, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like femme, twink, cute, wholesome.
yeah,
sort of
like
you
it's
said.
twinky. And, you know, I used to do so much more femme stuff.
Yeah.
And then I moved away from it. But I think I'm going to bring it back for like
Oh, you're
2024.
back in a skirt with me today. Watch out, people.
Yes, and.
Love it. Yeah, so that's sort of your niche. And I talk about like a lot of people out there, you can find your niche, but then you got to bring yourself into it. You know, so you've been so nice meeting you, and I've obviously connected to you through Hayes Rockwell, who I believe you've done a collab with.
Dutch Blonde Sport.
Dutch Blonde Sport, yeah.
Yeah.
And I met him in Amsterdam, and I believe you guys have done a collab. and
Yes,
he
we
passed
did
me
a
your number.
collab in London, and our collab is so long.
Is it?
It's so long.
Just got a bit carried away there.
It's like over an hour. I think it's like an hour 16 or something, or around.
Okay,
That is really long.
Yeah.
And he's very kinky. Like his lane is kind of like, he's got a great lane that I don't really touch into too much, but it's like feet and like socks and stuff. Because like Europeans love that.
Yeah, white
And he's
socks,
like,
white
he's like,
trainers.
yeah, you know, but like I kind of always forget to do it. But yeah, he's got a great lane.
That's really interesting. Yeah, sometimes you see on Instagram like just an influencer who's
He's so
taking a
kinky.
picture of their
Should I
feet.
share? I don't even know. Should I share how kinky it is?
Tell us, spill the tea.
Man,
Spill
in
the
our
tea.
collab, he did something that I'll just never forget because I'd never done it before.
Okay.
But it was like he was really into like ball crushing, you know, and I loved it. I was like, wow,
Hey.
you know, wow, yeah, it was really fun.
So I'm going to do a podcast with Hayes, actually. So do you have a message for him?
No, I don't want to give him a message. I'm not giving him a message.
Thanks, Hayes.
I'll see you soon.
I love that.
Thank you, son.
So as someone who doesn't do adult content myself, but educates on it.
He should.
Yeah.
Guys, comment if he should.
One comment. My mum.
Me commenting. Your mum. His mum,
Dave, you
guys.
could
It's
do
really
anything,
unique
you know?
content.
I meant like motherly support.
She wolf.
Yeah, she will.
She wolf and smooth wolf.
One thing that I find intriguing, and I love to put myself in the shoes of others, and this is a constant question I have for myself, and no doubt the audience has as well. But when you do your first shoot or your collab, and when you did your first collab, what was going through your mind? Like, how do you prep for that? Walk us through it, because I find that so intriguing.
I'd say my first few collabs were with my best friend, actually, Chris Twink Daddy. He's just got like, we actually used to date, and he has like this giant personality. You know, so it was really comfortable doing it with him. But I'd say with like my first big major creator for me was Sasha Cologne.
Okay.
Right. And he come to Sydney around Mardi Gras time. And I am like so nervous because this is my first time, and like I'm like a nervous bottom. A nervous bottom is like someone that's just a bit paranoid, you know, about like being messy, right? And because it's like gonna be filmed, it's like, you know,
it's
so
the bottom's nightmare.
Yeah, it's
especially
like
filming.
a nightmare,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
filming. You know,
Everyone has a shit day.
100%, you know, but that didn't happen, obviously.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good work.
I made them come. But that was my first one, and then we did a second one where it was like and then it was in a capsule. You ever stay like in one of those capsule hotels?
Oh, right. Like,
Yeah.
was it on like a cliff or something? Or
No, it was
No.
like astronaut themed in Sydney. It was like $80 in like
Okay.
basically a bed that's like a capsule.
Oh, right.
And it was purple and I topped him.
You topped him.
Yeah, he has a
Plot
great
twist.
muscle pussy. He does. Because that's the thing a lot of the time. Like, you'll meet a creator and then you'll hit it off, and it's really easy to work with them again.
Okay, cool.
And then if you have bad experiences with creators, it's like, you never forget, you know?
Do you want to share any of those moments?
I don't know.
Don't need
It's
to name
like-
names.
I don't know how to name names.
Okay.
But
Headline, high levels.
But you know, maybe you'll just have like awkward moments where like you're miscommunicating and not agreeing on what to do or something like that, or
Right.
or maybe even like a jealous boyfriend or something like that.
Watching in the background.
Yes, yes,
Yeah?
you know,
Oh,
but
wow.
you
Okay.
still gotta work, you know, but I think that you should feel totally okay saying, look, I come here to work with you and I was happy to, but I think I've changed my mind and I don't
Yeah.
want to work with you. And I think that's totally fine to do that. And people need to remember that they can say no
Yeah.
as well. Because if you're not vibing, like, you know, you want to have fun, you want to have a good time. You don't want
Yeah.
to feel like weird.
Absolutely.
Because it's
I mean,
going to be filmed and it'll
gosh.
translate.
It took me
You know?
years to learn that skill because it is a skill, right? Like
Yeah.
if you have a hookup or something like that, and sometimes you feel a bit pressured into it.
Yeah,
And-
because you went all this way and you're here now. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm leaving. If you have like your content ahead of schedule and stuff, and like you can say no. And I think knowing the power of no is like really good for your mind.
Yeah.
You know, because like this OnlyFans, it's a very like, it's quite mentally, you got to be quite strong, you know, because you are exposing yourself to like the whole world. Like really exposing yourself, like
Yeah.
like naked and stuff, you know. You have to look after your mental health, you know, because like, and that will mean like if you don't feel comfortable with someone, you got to say no. And you know what? By saying no, you feel like I did good for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah. So you got to like look after yourself. I think like with Beyond the Gram, that's like, I think I haven't really seen any other pages like that. And I find that I would have loved to have this, you know, even just like 12 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like I love that this kind of industry is maturing in that way. Like it's becoming, I mean, like it's all over the radio as well. And even like artists and stuff rap about it, you know.
It's true, and it's
amazing.
like I think in the past, and still a lot current day, but like the industry is known, but it's not talked about. But now it is.
Now, I mean, like, even I used to work at a pub, and like, I told my manager and my boss, like, everyone at the pub knew I did OnlyFans, you know, like, even the customers and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I left, like, say I'd go back there every now and then, and they'd be like, so, like, are you like a porn star? I'm like, yeah. I'm a content creator.
Yeah. I know that in London right now, when you start a new job, they screen you for like a police check or a criminal check. And now they're adding.
They're screening for Twitter?
They're now screening you for
No.
OnlyFans.
No way. Okay.
So in most people's contract, there's 2 clauses, and I just made a reel on this actually, where it says you can't have a secondary job unless you write to them and ask for their permission, which could be a bit awkward. And the
yeah,
other
it's
one-
like when you heard about all those nurses in Australia that like they're cracking down on them doing OnlyFans and stuff.
Yeah. Which I
Yeah.
like wholeheartedly against it, right? Because I'm just like, let people live.
Yeah,
You've got a 9
like
to 5.
especially in Sydney, like
you know.
everybody needs like a second job and a second income. It's
Yeah,
like,
the
I
way
mean, that's why
the
I used to
world-
work at a pub and do OnlyFans for ages.
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
mean,
it took me.
UK is a cost of living crisis.
Oh my God, yeah.
And anything over $1,000 now you're taxed on.
I
even if
once
it's
had
side
a
hustle.
pie in London for $31. It was so overpriced.
Yeah, like a
It was a
coffee.
pub pie.
Yeah,
like
pub pie.
It was a pie.
Yeah.
It was 31 Australian dollars.
Oh, it's crazy. We teach about customer profiles, right? So you got like daddies, twinks, all that sort of stuff. Who do you think your main customer profile is? Like, who's your main audience?
Oh, well, females.
Mm-hmm.
No. that's hard to believe. No one believe that. Well, they're men, obviously. They're actually between some 18 to 24, 25 to 35, or 40 to 50.
Right.
Yeah,
you
so it's actually a big age bracket. I'm surprised that actually a lot of younger people are subscribing in, but I think that's like a weird new generational thing that like
Yeah.
younger people are having like social anxiety, and instead of like going and meeting and fucking people in person, like they'd rather like go on OnlyFans and wank.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they love doing Snapchat video shit, you know,
Yeah,
like instead of
that's true.
meeting,
Yeah.
it's a very like new thing. But yeah, mainly like I'd say daddies.
Okay. Daddies. Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones with the money, right? Hey,
Yeah.
Daddy.
Give me your retirement fund.
So given you got 18 to up to 45 or 40, whatever you said there, wherever the daddy bracket goes to, what sort of awkward or funny situations have you had with fans, given that you've got such a breadth of fans?
I actually had a weird request like last week. It was like, can you do a fart custom thing and like a cum tribute thing? And I was like, oh no, I don't do that.
So
But
what's
I can
it-
send you the fart stuff. You know, no.
What's a cum tribute?
No, I said I do the cum tribute, but I wasn't gonna do the fart thing. That's like,
But what
so-
is a cum tribute?
I think a cum tribute is like when, say, you're on you have your phone and it's like a picture, and then you like come on the picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it'd be like them as the
It's a
fan.
tribute.
So it'd be like, can you come to my photo kind of thing?
Or something, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
The fart one, like, you know what? These kings, and maybe I'm just like desensitized, but I understand in their brain why.
Yeah.
Like the fart thing is probably like some weird kind of bullying, dumb shit that they're into. Like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Dumb,
fart on my face.
submissive. Yeah. I'm such a submissive.
Oh, I hate it.
I hate it more.
I hate it. I mean, even I've heard mates, they're like, they've had like eating booger requests.
Oh my gosh.
And, you know, like some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Straight boys love their like stepmom shit or whatever, you know?
we're like step bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
even my brother, oh my God, he told me the craziest thing.
Yeah.
He's so straight. I mean, he's so straight that he was like, feel like I tried to put a finger in my ass, so I just like couldn't do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
hot, no.
Yeah.
No, but he told me like I went on Tinder and there was this MILF. Oh man, it's like my dream. This blonde MILF, big tits, and I'm in the Uber and like I'm just like so excited. Like this is my dream. And honestly, he's like, oh, it was the best sex I ever had. Like she was like a little bit drunk and she told me all these things. So I'm like,
Cool.
so happy for you.
Nice,
This
yeah.
MILF stepmom fantasy.
Yeah. Or even-
But I think like I was really lucky with my gay experience because like I basically come out when I was 17, and I just went like right into it. Like I was like,
so not too
boom,
long
no
ago.
straight bi-curious, bisexual.
Yeah. There was
None
no
of that.
journey. It was like, boom,
no
I'm
journey.
there.
It was like
Yeah.
boom, gay. And but I had like an older boyfriend as well who just like taught me everything. And I think like they are so much more fun, like older guys, because they just know what they're doing. And same with like my brothers, same with like older women, they'll just know what they're doing. So you just
Yeah.
have so much more fun.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, when you have sort of an age discrepancy? A lot of people forget the whole like mentorship they can provide.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you're getting really popular, and your socials are taking off, and let alone all your fans on the 3 platforms that you're on. Have you ever come across a fan in real life?
They'll be at like clubs and they'll be like, yeah, I've seen your Twitter and like you've helped me come so many times, you know? And I'm like, I'm so glad I could help you.
I've made you sleep well for the
Thank
last
you.
year.
I love your cock. I'm like, thank you.
So I just love how like
Yeah, I
you're
love
just so
it.
chill with all that.
I love
That's so
it.
cool.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Oh, nice. I bet you they go home and have a little wake. I saw
Yeah,
Willow
I
Twink
saw
at
it.
club, yeah.
This cock's so big.
Your socials, as I mentioned, is really skyrocketing. And a lot of people are out there trying to get their social media up and going. What would be some recommendations you'd have to get your socials up there?
So I used to post every day, but then that come like a bit like too much, you know. So now I just post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and do that consistently. And you just like over time it builds.
It builds.
With Instagram, pictures are great; they will be recommended, but it's reels. Like videos is like what brings engagement for Instagram. For TikTok, it's like you should post every day. It's good for the algorithm, but it's like sometimes too much.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Same with Twitter. You don't need to post. Definitely don't post every day on Twitter because you kind of become a bit too saturated and too in the eye. You know, you kind of need a little element of mystery. So, you know, every other day, 100%.
Okay. Nice. So I guess like as a adult content creator, your mission, I imagine, is to create value for your fans, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like make sure that like invest in a good phone and take your content in front of a window. Like daytime content is the best.
Okay, interesting. You don't
And
do
like
the
be
whole-
creative, like have fun and be creative. Like wear skirts or wear like some jock stuff or like be dumb or be like submissive, you know, play with toys, collab with other people, do creative solo stuff, you know. I mean, like I can suck my own dick, you know. So like I do that.
I mean, hey, if you got the skills, flaunt it, right?
Yeah, just have fun and be creative.
Yeah.
But good quality.
Good quality. Okay, so good lighting,
Daytime light.
good camera.
Good quality, good light.
Yeah.
And be creative.
You don't do the LED lights at night.
No, that shit.
Gone, done it.
Daytime's the best.
Yeah, okay, nice. And how do you deal with disgruntled customers or fans? Like, have you ever had a troll situation yourself? Actually, this is good. We'll use this on Tuesday Trolls. What troll situation have you had?
Oh, I actually haven't had too many like disgruntled customers, but I have had a hater, right?
Okay.
Which then involved like the police, which was so stressful, but it's over now. God, I do not want to get into it, but it was like he full made a complaint about some Twitter thing, and it was like, you know, technically like in a public place, you know, which is like, like all gay people do fucking public shit. I mean, everyone does public shit, you know, but obviously the cops had to like follow it up, and it was, that whole thing was so weird as well because like I'm like in the jail. Right?
You were in jail?
Yeah.
No way.
And like I'm
I love
like
this. We got the
saying
hot
like,
scoop
oh my
today.
god, like you guys should do like an OnlyFans. Like the cop thing would go so well, and they were like, you know, you should do like an OnlyFans course. You know, I'm like, yeah. You know, like a masterclass to come and sit and be like, hello, I'm Willow Twink. You know, but
That's it.
It was such a weird experience. But then I showed them my cock and they let me go. Well, it was more of a strip search if I had any weapons, but
Really? And you had a weapon. And they liked it.
yeah.
What's next for you? Like, what's coming up? Tell our fans the scoop. What can we look forward to?
Well, I really do want to do another 10-inch top video.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, that was like awesome.
I'm pretty sure we're all
but
up
I
for
already,
that.
I did that, you know, so I'm going to be going to LA and New York, and I'm going to be meeting Austin Wolf.
Nice.
Him. Oh, he's going to fuck me.
So is that part of that collaboration house you're talking
There's
about?
so many creators. I got like maybe 20 creators on a list, and I've messaged them, and they're all like confirmed, and I'm gonna collab with them. I'm really
Amazing.
excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another hardworking holiday then. Yeah. Or
And I even made a
working
little
holiday.
I made a vision board.
Okay.
You know, I made a vision board. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna fuck me. Yeah, literally.
I love it.
I even want to make like a product, like some kind of Willow product, just to like push myself. You know, I'm
Why
thinking.
not?
You know what I'm thinking? I want to do like a Willow calendar.
A Willow
Like
calendar.
a Willow calendar,
Right.
but it's like one of those like nude a day. It'll be like a
Okay,
nude a day.
nude a day,
It might
yeah.
not be office safe, but you know, like a nude a day. I think
Not
that'd be
fit for
really
work.
fun because I saw like my sister has like one that's a cat, like
Mm-hmm.
a cat a day, and I'm like, oh my god, I should do like a nude a day one. It's so good.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Well, look, you are welcome at the Academy anytime as a special guest. So,
Thank you. Oh, and I'll give you a prototype for my Willow toys as
okay,
well.
done. I'm brainstorming with you. No problems. So, look, it's been absolutely awesome speaking to you today.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I'm so glad we could meet up. And it's just been so interesting to hear about your journey and what's next and all the different experiences there. And I think you are such a great porn parent.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
We look forward to touching base in the future and maybe having you as a special guest on Beyond the
I would
Gram.
love to. I'm loving the whole idea.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's just been a pleasure.
Thank you. Should I like show off my outfit or something?
Yeah, give us a 12.
Should I?
Yeah, do
Look
it.
at it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Twerk it, twerk it.